Regina Morris.
Hi, I'm really happy to be here. I'm a local Austin author, and I write a series of paranormal romances that feature a covert team of sexy vampires who protect the President of the United States. In my world, vampires can alter their aged appearance based upon the amount of blood they consume. So the more blood they drink, the younger they appear. So many times a vampire will be sated with blood, they'll move into a new neighborhood, they'll gradually modify their eating habits and grow old, and then they'll fake their death, move, start all over again. So that's how the vampires in my world can blend into the human society without notice. Excuse me. My vampires are very humanized. They're not out hunting or killing people. They drink bagged blood and are governed by a vampire council. My stories are sensual and lighthearted and warm. They're not scary or something that might be a little too dark. On a scale of 1 to 10, they're probably an 8 on the explicit sex and the heat level. My main series is called The Colony, and it has 5 standalone. You can read them in any order novels. The White House is merely a backdrop, so these are true romances. These are not political thrillers at all. They actually go out on dates and enjoy their time with their mates. The series has branched off into another series. I have 5 now in The Colony, but I just came out with a Christmas story for the Colony World series. It's the same vampire paranormal world, but these vamps do not protect the president. They live all over the world. I also have some contemporary romances out and a fantasy time travel series. So the books I brought today over there, they are the first 3 in my Colony series, and each book will feature a different member of the team. And again, you can read them in any order, and there are no cliffhangers. So I'd like to read a passage from book number 1. I do need my glasses for this, though. Okay. Oops. So in my world, you have the group of vampires and you have the president, and the group was founded after Abraham Lincoln's death. And since you never know how a future president will react to vampires, there's one person in the middle who's the liaison between the two, and that person's a human director of the colony. So in book number 1, Eternal Service, Raymond is the hero, and he is the leader of the vampires. And he has just found out that the director, who's been in the job for 30 years, is retiring, his best friend. Replacing him is a very beautiful woman who's very accomplished. Alex is her name, and she's an accomplished woman who's trying to find balance between her military career and a potential family eventually. The reading I'm doing comes pretty early in the book. Alex does know that Raymond is a vampire. Up until this point, she had no idea vampires existed. They've discussed some vampire culture and what her role will be if she steps into the director of the colony position. The setting is at her home. She's grown tired of going out and discussing the colony stuff because all she does is go out and he watches her eat and drink. And they have so much work to do. She said, "Come over to my house." So they're at her house. They're sipping wine because vampires can drink wine. And she can't keep her mind on business. Raymond smiled at Alex. It was a beautiful smile, not fake or forced. You can always tell when a smile is real. His black-colored eyes held the smile, not just his luscious, full lips. Alex noticed his hair remained a bit damp, probably due to a last-minute shower on his way over. His hair parted on the side tonight, and a curl of bangs hung lopsided onto his forehead. It gave him a Superman appearance. She always did like Superman. Alex knew her pulse sped up as she took in the visual striptease in her mind. She thought back to their earlier conversation. Humans and vampires could have sex together. Sex. She swallowed hard. She hadn't thought about having sex with a man in a long time. Her heart sped up even faster. She wondered if Raymond could hear the beats. If he did, he didn't show any reaction. He just sat, sipping his wine, looking sexy as hell. Her hand still held her wine glass, so she took a gulp of wine, hoping to squelch the heat she felt within her. Instead, the drink fueled the flame. Would sex with a vampire be different than with a human? If there were a difference, she was betting it was better. The sexual relationships she had had in the past, if she could remember that far back, were moderately satisfying. Definitely not romance novel, page-turning steamy, but satisfying. Blinking a few times, she realized she was staring at his crotch. Could she be more obvious? She knew in her heart that she was going to take this promotion. She couldn't start a romance with a team member. It wasn't professional. She wasn't that type of woman. Plus, there was no guarantee that he was interested in her in that way. He had treated her with nothing but respect. Then again, she couldn't deny her overwhelming attraction to him. His dark raven hair, soulful teal-colored eyes, strong muscular jaw, they beckoned her. She bit her lower lip, imagining the vampire shirtless, or even better, naked. "Alex?" Raymond asked. She looked up, making eye contact. "What? Are you okay? You've been quiet for several minutes." So that's the first book where we get introduced to Alex, and the director, Dixon, is now retiring. In book number 2 of the series, I have actually 2 short pieces I'm reading for you today. In book number 2, it's called United Service. This one is about Raymond's grown son, Sterling. Raymond, 200 years ago, he was married to a human woman, and she died giving birth to their half-breed son. And the human world does not, Sterling does not fit into the human world, and he is shunned by the vampire one. So Raymond has made adjustments for his son and has taken care of him his whole life, which just aggravates Sterling to no end, because Sterling is a bad boy vampire who lives with a side effect of being a half-breed. He tries to find love, but unfortunately in all the wrong places. His father disapproves of his lifestyle. No vampire woman wants him, and he can't turn a human himself because he's a half-breed. Not that he'd want to turn any of his human days. In this book, vampire children are being kidnapped, and Sterling jumps at an opportunity to prove himself to his team. A purebred vampire named Kate, who is a nanny of one of the kidnapped children, tags along with Sterling and another team member to find the missing children. Sterling is instantly attracted to her, even though they just can't be more opposite. So in this excerpt, Kate, Sterling, and another team member named Ben are going to Sterling's apartment. They have the last known location of the kidnappers. Actually, Kate knows it, but she's not sharing it because she wants to tag along. So they're going into Sterling's apartment so that he can get some clothing so he can go on this trip. Sterling walked up the stairs behind Kate, allowing Ben to follow from behind. Instead of enjoying the view of Kate's backside in her tight jeans, he was on the lookout to catch her if she fell. Why did women wear such stupid footwear? High heels really didn't serve any purpose other than making their asses and calves look good. He grinned. Yeah, asked and answered. He unlocked the door and led them into his tastefully decorated one-bedroom apartment. "This place is homey, Sterling," Ben said, noticing the living room had been converted into a giant bedroom. "Wow, color me impressed," Kate said. "I expected something different in a handsome bachelor's apartment." Sterling caught the backhanded compliment. He was a half-breed, not some lowlife without taste. "Well, you're probably the first woman Sterling has brought in here he hasn't slept with," Ben said under his breath as he walked into the room. Sterling hoped Kate hadn't heard that comment, but shrugged as he walked into the small and very empty bedroom to fetch some clothing out of the closet. "Really, the first one. So let's just hope his mother has never come to visit him," Kate joked loudly so Sterling could hear. As Ben laughed, Sterling noticed Kate taking in the beautiful room. The place featured a gorgeous bed with matching furniture and had a homey charm, like a professional designer had worked on this room. "This place is right out of Pier 1, she said as she sat on the edge of Sterling's bed. Sterling walked from one end of the apartment to the other, collecting what he needed for the trip. "It's all from Ethan Allen," he corrected. noticing where Kate now sat. When the two of them stared back at him, he added, "What? I like nice things." He always thought her room with just one piece of furniture looked too eerie, especially if that one piece was just a bed. He liked the decor and had just called the company, quoted a page number in the catalog, and had the entire room delivered. He had found the task quite easy to do. Speaking of nice things, he looked at Kate. She took beauty to a whole new level. She sat playing with her long brunette hair. Her legs were crossed, and she looked, well, gorgeous to him. He felt drawn to her like a moth to a flame, but he didn't know why. "You even have plastic plants," she commented. "Really, Sterling? Plastic?" Sterling now looked at Ben. Women feel more at home if there are plants in the room. "Fake ones?" Ben asked. "What, like I'm going to remember to water real ones?" Returning to the task at hand, Sterling opened the coat closet and took out a box labeled Lost and Found. He pulled out a red gym bag. He dug through it to find a pair of sneakers. "Check if these fit." He tossed them over to Kate as he reached for his carry-on bag for his own clothes to take on the trip. "Someone else's shoes? Ew." She made a face as she stared at him. "Beautiful, but annoying. Better than being left behind," Sterling pointed out. While Kate busily tried on the shoes, Ben pulled Sterling aside as the two walked into the kitchen to get some fresh bagged blood. "Lost and found box?" Ben asked. "Hey, don't judge me. At least I donate the stuff to Goodwill once the box is full." "Okay, let me guess. You caught a woman on the way to the gym one night. She must have figured she'd burn more calories during doing you than the Stairmaster. And after she left, you noticed her gym bag." "Sure, we'll just go with that." Ben laughed. "You don't even remember when the gym bag appeared, do you?" Sterling shook his head. "No clue." "These are a little too big," Kate complained loudly from the living room. "Your girlfriend must be a Sasquatch. They're not even a good name brand." "If they're big, it means they fit," Sterling yelled back. He then leaned in towards Ben and whispered, "How can anyone that beautiful be this irritating?" "Irritating, huh?" Ben glanced at Sterling. "Looks like someone has a little crush on the pretty vamp lady." Sterling looked over to Kate. "That very beautiful goddess that is currently sitting on my bed?" She was mesmerizing. "Hell yes." So that is book 2. Book number 3 of the series is called Enduring Service. And this one is about Raymond's sister, Sulie. She is Sterling's aunt who has raised him from birth. And she's been in love with the director, the one that retired in the first book. He's been working for 30 years, and 30 years is a very long time to wait for true love. She is too scared to tell the director, who's basically her boss, that she is desperately in love with him. And Dixon, the director, has never found himself worthy because he's human. He's not worthy enough to date and pursue Sulie romantically. His time is running out because now that he's not the director, his mind will be wiped by her brother Raymond, and he will be sent on his way to retire, never to remember Sulie again. And when Sulie's about ready to tell him, she gets kidnapped. And Dixon realizes he can't imagine a world without Sulie in it. So the two of them, it's a battle of time to see if they can actually find each other, reconnect, and be brave enough to find true love. This book here, if you join my newsletter, you can actually get this book. You can download it as an ebook. You can also download a marketing book that has the first 4 chapters of the first 4 books of the Colony series for free. And I do have some information on my website. You can download the books like I mentioned. There's a review club. I also have a sweet military romance out there and my time travel series. So that's all available in the information on the table back there or on my website. Thank you.
All right.